What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to a super special episode of Swoop Luke just before the Christmas break. I'm here with the big Roo, and actually, it looks like we're the same height when we're sitting down, which is really nice for me. So, so thank you for sitting down doing this, mate. How you going?
Very well, thank you. Very well, yeah. So just enjoying a full pre-season and getting into it, and then got a nice little break coming up. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that. But yeah, just really excited about what's to come. Yeah.
So you've only really been at the club, so mid-season draft. So it'd be what, 8 months or not even?
Yeah,
really.
like 6, 7 months.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. So end of May, got drafted, and then got chucked in VFL and just sort of went with it, and been learning along the way. And now first full pre-season, so really excited to.
So how was that transition from playing where you were playing and then straight bang straight into the VFL, because it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't a pre-season, it was mid-season draft and then you just chucked into the deep end straight away.
I wasn't too bad because everyone was really supportive, and like they sort of gave me a week to warm up and just sort of understand like the culture and how we want to play and that sort of thing. And I got to say, like the talent league and stuff like that sets you up fairly well. So credit to Eastern as well for doing a good job. But like, they've set up it pretty well, and they helped me along the way. So.
And you learned, was Travis Cloak a coach as well?
Yeah, he was coach in my junior year, so like 16s or whatever, and then he was coach there for a year, so I had him for a year, and then had Lauren Moorcroft, LJ, for 2 years, and she was wonderful.
So coming into a club as big as Collingwood, I'm sure you would have been happy anywhere you sort of went, but going to a club right after a premiership, and then when you came in, it was a bit, we weren't firing as we should. What was the sort of the change rooms and the training and all that sort of like, and the messaging, I guess?
From a coaching point, it was sort of like we know where we could be, and it was sort of hard to see how it wasn't translating on field. So I think that was the big thing, to sort of keep the training standards up, because eventually it will reflect upon on field. So we just had to keep that mindset of like, keep going. We know what we can do. So just sure, that's what we're going to bring next year, is that we know what we can do. We just need to keep going.
Exactly,
and keep
right.
Performing.
And we kind of saw that towards the end of the year where we won 4 of our last 5 games. It was only obviously that Sydney game. Talking of training standards and training, so I've been coming to training like whenever I can. I'm here, and I keep talking you up. I'm a big fan. What I love about you, and I guess you can talk a little bit about it, is you have a bit of that mongrel in you, and it's just like, see ball, get ball. But it's more than just like a fight. It's your ruck talent as well, and you're learning from Coxie and Cameron. So what has that been like?
Oh, it's been unreal. Like, they've really helped me, sort of mentored me a bit. Like, I've sat down with them and gone through vision and stuff, and they've helped me work out what sort of program. And also Josh Fraser as well, that coach. He's been massive as well in my development. And I think just training standards out there, like we talk about, like fight to the bell and like keep going. Like, that's part of our sort of our core at Collingwood, is just to keep fighting. So I sort of just want to bring that and just get into it as much as possible. And that's just something I enjoy, because like as a footy player, like you love the contact. That's something you go for. Like, it's just something you really enjoy. And so I just want to embrace it.
And you had a couple games, or you had a fair chunk of games in the VFL, and now you're gonna hit it really hard from the start of the season. What are your goals going forward now for 2025?
Goals for 2025, like I'd say, obviously I'd like to play a game. And just being consistent and just keep working on my game. I'd like to find form and find a solid place where I know I can bring something week in, week out, and that's what they can expect from me. So something that I've sort of been working on is my aerial and like actually sticking the marks. Like you can go for them, you can clunk them, but like sticking them and making sure that I make use of my height, so
100%.
But ultimately just find some form.
It's just that consistency sort of angle. And I've noticed that you and Steenie as well are doing a lot of forward work. Are you? Is it going to be like what Cameron and Cox sort of do, where whatever it is, 70% ruck, 30% forward, and that sort of stuff?
I think it's looking like that sort of dynamic. Not 100% sure, because coaches are pretty shady sometimes, but you can't really always tell what they're thinking. They might throw a spanner in the works and switch things up. But
Yep.
yeah, it looks like, because obviously we have our primary position, we always want a secondary position, because
Yep.
you're not always going to play in the same position
Exactly
every
right.
time. And
Yep.
it's good to have tools in your toolkit.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be really interesting. And like there's been a few people up forward as well, like Checkers and DMAC. Really,
Lots to learn from.
yeah, lots to learn, and lots of talent as well that are coming through, and just nitpick here and there. And
Yeah.
yeah, lots of voices helping us along the way.
And that's exactly when you come to a club like this, it's
Yeah.
always going to sort of be that case.
Yeah.
Off camera, we sort of touched on last Friday's training session.
Yeah.
And you said it was super grueling.
Oh,
You
yeah,
want to sort of talk
crazy.
about that?
Crazy, yeah. So started the morning pretty, felt all right, felt good, had a good sleep. Coming into training, everyone knew that we were going to get not a beating, but like thereabouts. So it's going to be a hard session. And we were out on the track doing fundamentals, doing that, and they said, coaches in the meeting were like, don't save yourself for the conditioning. Like, we want to see you guys have a good standard out there. Like, don't save yourselves just because there's something coming afterwards. And so everyone bought in, and we set the training standards high from the start, and they were really impressed. So finished all the trainings, and then we did a bit of a conditioning block out there. It was sort of like a warm-up as such.
Yep.
And that wasn't too bad, and everyone's feeling okay, like we were a bit on edge here. And then we got the runners on, and we started going around, and we got this circuit sort of going. So no one really knew what to expect. We were all just following along, and we got there, and they're like, okay, we'll do some grappling now. And then we're like, yep, cool, get down on the grass, get all itchy. It's lovely. But yeah, no, it was definitely a good session, and a lot of hill sprints as well,
Yeah,
which
saw that.
Yeah, that was intense. But just left nothing in the tank. Just keep going, because it's going to pay dividends to come. So
Definitely. And, coming up to, we were talking about how this is like your last sort of real week until Christmas, and then you get a bit of a break. So that Friday, was that all the senior, like that was the end of the senior guys as well? Is it just you young guys now for the next couple of days?
Mostly, but I think we had a fair few of the older boys in today as well. But
Beautiful.
yeah, that is sort of like a Christmas session, you could call it. Like it was the hard one, it was the end, and yeah, I know the boys will be keen for a break coming up soon. But yeah, that is mostly done now. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Northern Territory, you did that camp. Yeah. We'll touch on the camp. I just want to make mention of the little kangaroo that you did hold.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, it was adorable. Little Joey, little Roo. But yeah, I don't know how old it was. Not sure what happened to the mother, but it was, it swaddled it.
Oh,
I looked at it. It was tiny. So cute. But yeah, Tennant Creek was amazing. Like, the cultural experience was just unreal. And like, for a town that's very isolated, there's there's a fair bit going on there, like undercover, I guess. It's not always open to just passerbys or anything. Like, you have to find it, and it's a lovely town. Like, there's people there are lovely, and they absolutely loved seeing all the boys there, and all the girls as well. And that was also another good way to sort of form bonds with the new staff and the AFLW group. So that was really rewarding, I think, and very enjoyable, because everyone just built a different sort of connection, and it was really, really good. Yeah,
like watching all the footage and stuff, and having the AFLW, the girls just come in and help it was great to see. And we're sort of, especially with fly in now, that sort of family sort of culture, but Collingwood, just been, it's side by side, right? Like that's the mantra. Look, before I leave you, I do want to talk about the website. I know you get it a lot, but the one particular thing I want to talk about the website, which is just cool anyway, was music production. Now, I was in a bunch of bands growing up. I played in a bunch of pop punk bands growing up, so I frothed it. I loved it. So what do you like about that music production side? And do you still do it?
I dabble still. It was mostly during lockdown and that sort of phase where I was sort of in the room, and just like after school or whatever, you turn off Teams and just go do whatever. It's something I really enjoy. I just like music, like playing instruments. I love how how things can sound so wonderful, and like, I don't know, it's really relaxing at the same time. But it's just really fun, because I'm sure like, you play something like that really sounded good, like, how did I do that? But it's just really something I enjoy doing. It calms me, it relaxes me, and it takes my mind off footy, which is something everyone needs. Like,
100%,
can't just be footy. It's something else, and it's still tuning your brain. You're still using it. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, and I was just about to say, it's good to probably have those hobbies outside of football as well. So you can just sort of switch off. Like what I do is I paint miniatures, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
That's
So,
so cool.
so that just like you said with your sort of thing, it just calms you right down, and you can just zen out, and you can do it. Be like, oh fuck, it's 3 hours. Like what's going on here? But that's good to hear that you sort of still do it.
Yeah. So just sort of in my room, making beats, I guess. But I'm not going to release anything. Like, don't be looking for that. It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck with the next couple of days, and happy holidays, brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
No worries.